25 days to complete the capture of Saipan in one of the most significant battles of the Pacific. After a 4-day bombardment, the 2nd and 4th Marine Divisions and the 27th Infantry landed at Jinjin Point. Their first objective was Oslito Airfield. The capture of Oslito Airfield, renamed Isley Field in honor of an American flyer, gave us an air base less than 1,500 miles from Japan. But the rest of Saipan was yet to be taken. And as the Japs into the caves and ravines of the mountainous interior, the going got plenty tough. We threw every kind of punch we had in beating the Japs back across the island. 12 and 16-inch naval guns offshore added terrific firepower to the attack of the land forces, as yard by yard we gained Mount Tapachau and then swarmed down on Garapan. Pressed in the northeast tip of the island, they staged a counterattack of fanatical violence. But the counteroffensive burned out quickly, and by the 15th of the month, the last defenses were overcome. When it was all over, 16,000 Japs had been killed. They hold life cheaply, and there were a lot of them. 1,000, however, were taken prisoner, more than usual. And so Saipan was cleaned up. This is a part of the Pacific fight that you won't find in the headlines. This is a battle you won't see in the newsreels. For this is the ordinary fight of ordinary soldiers, sailors, and Marines. A struggle to establish bases and airfields to launch the next offensives. It's a battle against insects, hunger, and being tired. It's not 8 or 10, but 12 hours a day. No extra pay for overtime. This could be home, except that here the deadlines are more urgent. There are no Sundays, except that here the deadlines are more urgent. There are no Sundays as we know them, for an airstrip must be rolled out of this Pacific jungle, and the longer it is delayed, by just so much is the day of victory prolonged. The boys that put up this control tower were engineers, used to comfortable offices, easy hours, but no more. This is a different tempo of life, where hours and minutes can account for casualties and deaths. At best, the coral airstrips of the Pacific are tough on tires, for planes land fast, hard, and often. Tire and engine changes must be made quickly, for every moment counts in the drive across the island seas. There is a heavy transport loaded with spares and much-needed supplies. And something even better. Yes, sir, it's a Navy nurse. Behind that smile is a hypodermic full of typhoid shots. But who cares now? This is Guam, with the now familiar line force standing offshore ready for action. For 17 days without let-up, the island defenses were bombed from the air and pounded by gunfire from ships offshore. The force included most of the 5th Fleet and ships of the 3rd Amphibious Group. Air cover and air attack was provided by carrier-based fighters and dive bombers. A phosphorus shell bursts on shore in the midst of the defending Japs. The landing craft rendezvous, and then in a long line streak for the shore. It's okay, boys. There's what you're looking for. Air cover is there in strength, blasting the shore defenses ahead of the landing craft. We, too, pay a heavy price, as 2 amphibious tanks are hit squarely in the assault. The significance of the capture of the Marianas was apparent even before Guam. A week after the capture of Saipan, it was announced that Admiral Shimada was relieved as Commander-in-Chief of the Japanese Navy. And 2 days later, Tojo and his war cabinet resigned. But as Tojo himself said in announcing the loss of Saipan, the real battle is going to be fought from now on. A poster distributed to the workers in Japanese production plants reads,
"This is a war of production. Americans are soft. We who have learned to live the hard way shall triumph through persistence. We are strong. We are determined."
To such sentiments, Tojo added the words,
"There is not a single grain of delusion in us, and there is not the slightest hesitation in our eyes in facing death and life."
That is what we have to fight.